Wise, two Y's. And here is the biggest ranch ever in Texas. Now, what some people might say, oh, I bet that's the King Ranch. The King Ranch, which still exists with 800 and some odd thousand acres down in South Texas, the King Ranch at its height was about 1.2 million acres. And it's since been, they've since lost a little bit of it through inheritance and so forth. But anyway, the King Ranch is very important, is very famous. But larger than the King Ranch, which was only a little over 1 million acres, 1 million acres is a lot, larger than the King Ranch was the XIT. And the XIT, you made this brand with a bar. You had to hit the cow 5 times. XIT. And what did it stand for? It covered all or part of 10 counties in the Texas Panhandle. And so that's 10 in Texas. It was 3 million acres. I'm in Carthage, Texas, and I am 200 miles from Colleyville, Texas, or Fort Worth. And that's how long that ranch was. It was 200 miles long and 3 million acres, and they ran 100,000 head of cows on that ranch. Here is one, a rancher, whose initials were IC. So this was the start of his brand, the IC brand. But a guy who lived close to him began to steal his cows, and he registered another brand, and it said he added a U to it, and it said ICU. And so the original rancher registered a second brand, told his cowboys to steal those cows back, and it said ICU too. And that is the language of the range from the brands.
large group of frightened refugee Texians milled around near Harrisburg, trapped against Buffalo Bayou. They knew Mexicans were in the area in force. Didn't know where to go. One of these desperate runaways, a Mrs. Terrell, wrote an account of what happened late that afternoon. I quote her. Towards sunset, a woman on the outskirts of the camp began to clap her hands and shout, "Hallelujah, hallelujah." Those about her thought her mad, but following her wild gestures, they saw one of the Harlings from Liberty riding for life towards the camp, his horse covered with foam, and he was waving his hat and shouting, "San Jacinto, San Jacinto! The Mexicans are whipped and Santana a prisoner." The scene that followed beggars description, she continued. People embraced, laughed, and wept and prayed all in one breath. As the moon rose over the vast flower-decked prairie that evening, the soft southern wind carried peace to our tired hearts and grateful slumber. Well, here we are, on the very day that a spectacular, momentous victory battle was fought 178 years ago. Perhaps in celebration, we too should laugh and embrace and weep and pray and shout hallelujah. Thank you for your kind attention.